morning, welcome back to Confession Sessions. Today we have Ash, we have me, and we have Megano.
Hello.
Yep.
You've never done a confession session.
I've not. I'm a newbie here.
This is going to be a good one because we have loads of voice notes.
Yay.
Voice notes are fun because it's literally like the people are being a wee bit confident.
Yeah.
Right? Going, I'm just going to put my voice out there. No change to the voice.
Yeah.
I know I'd at least do an accent.
Same. But,
Imagine having to maintain that though.
I know. Do you remember the girl that started off like that before? And we were like, oh my God, why is she speaking like that? But it was just because she was taking the piss. I definitely would do some kind of like voice changing. Like, you know, when you watch like something and it'll be like knife crime in London and it's like the person that's dressed in all black.
Like,
We've offered to do that for people. We've said send us a voice note and we'll just like change your voice.
It's scary.
It is scary,
I
but
don't
it's
like
fun.
those when they do those like anonymous voices and it's like
I was walking to the bar. I'm
But
like,
see, the thing I hate about that is they'll have somebody standing in the shadow, right, and then they zoom in on like all their features and you're like, that's giving it away.
Yep, I can see your side profile.
I know exactly what you look like
My
now.
brain's going to just fill in all the darkness there and put the colour in, and I know exactly who that is.
We had somebody message us, I don't know if it was you that wrote back to us or Lauren, but somebody messaged off the back of a story that we shared last week, and the story was about the influencer, the travel influencer.
Yep.
And he'd went away and basically he contacted us and he was like, everyone's sending me this because they know it's me.
Basically,
who
what
said
happened-
it?
Yeah, but it was a nice sister.
It wasn't his sister. I know who it is, right? But I don't want to then go back to him and grass it in.
Oh.
and was the story bad?
What was
No,
it again?
basically we were talking about, weirdly enough, again, why is Rylan constantly on our podcast?
I don't know.
Rylan is
Rylan.
constantly there. I've mentioned him twice now, and we were talking about him last week. Him and Judge Rinder, we were talking about that, and then we were saying that Judge Rinder is like made up, like all the stories, the people are real, but some of it's like made up. And then basically someone has like corroborated that by telling us that they know somebody who what was it he booked again? He kept booking travel stuff on TikTok when he was drunk. So he would book something and be like, I'm going to go to, I don't know, Brazil tomorrow, and people were like just following along with him being like quite kind of spontaneous. And basically Judge Rinder's team from ITV had reached out to him and said, we want to have you on, but this is going to be your story, because they were trying to piggyback off of his like success because he was going viral. And basically that story came out, and then he's messaged and went, I don't know who's told you this.
Yeah, and I'm like, I know, but I'm not grassing anyone in. Always anonymous.
I thought it was somebody's sister.
It's not his sister because he's not got a sister. He said that because we were like, is it your sister? And he's like, I don't have a sister.
Oh, weird. Anyway,
That rules the sister out there.
I know, if he's not got one. So what's happened off the back of it then?
Nothing, he just wanted to know who it was. But I think that must happen all the time where we tell a story and then somebody might go, I recognise that. But who's wrote it in? Especially since sometimes it's a second-hand story that we get. It's like, I heard that. Blah, blah, blah.
Or we get someone writing in and it's like, my mother-in-law XYZ, and then they'll go follow up on the mother-in-law, and then we've given them a name, so we'll go like, for example, Stacey and Stacey's mum didn't we made their name, and then all of a sudden every story that comes in from them, she's going, right, I now need to stop writing in because you're now be able to piece together all the wee stories and someone will figure it out.
Also the amount of times that we accidentally say her name and then we're like, oh, need to beep that out. Right, do you want to read this one? This one's actually just came in this morning.
Okay.
This is on our hotline line, by the way, which if anyone wants to write in any stories, it's 07428 957 885.
Wow, that's mad you can remember that.
I nearly
Takes a
fluffed
long
it.
time.
I have only just learnt my mobile number.
Oh, do you have a new one though? Is
No.
that why?
I've had it since I was like 10. Right, here goes. So, a lad I know let's call him James, was with a girl for 6 years. He was smitten with the girl at the start and he would never come out to the pub anymore as he was always too busy with her. He was extremely close with the girl's mum, dad and brother. They let him move in and he used to flirt with the mum. But we put it down to him just having a bit of banter as the mum used to laugh back. 2 years into this relationship, he got dropped off to the pub where he was meeting all of us and also meeting his girlfriend's dad to watch the football. As he got out, him and the girl's mum kissed on the lips.
What? Was it an accident?
And we seen from the pub and thought, oh, she's just like the mum he never had.
Why is he kissing her?
That's your mum. That's your mum.
Still
not okay.
Weird. We forgot all about it anyway. James always used to joke around how he was shagging the mum. Okay, inappropriate.
Joking. Just kidding. Joking. Shagging your mom, JK.
That's dodgy, by the way.
That's fucking weird. Shagging the mum, but we all just put it down to a fantasy. Still not okay. And would join in on the joke with him. Okay. Now James and his girlfriend were buying a house and she fell pregnant. Everything was fine. They moved in. Had the baby and got on with life. We used to go to parties and would catch James and the mum in the kitchen or any place where no one else was around. When this was mentioned to him, he would joke with the lads and say, yeah, I'm shagging the mum. I'll be with her one day, so just you watch. And we all laughed it off.
Yous are weird.
Guys, the humour is strange. About 3 years went by and this all came out from 6 months in. About 3 years went by. Not pie. And
Mum's pie.
it all came out that 6 months in, James and the mum had been seeing each other the whole time. The mum let the daughter buy a house with James and have a baby with James. James is now with the mum and they're getting married next year.
Oh,
the Grans
my God.
marrying. The Grans marrying the son.
Yeah, the son's marrying. Yeah, the dad's marrying the gran.
The daughter and mum don't speak. Safe to say, it is going to be confusing for the baby now that her nan is her stepmum.
Oh my
Oh,
fucking God.
here.
What the fuck?
This is a case for Jeremy Kyle.
Yeah. Wait, in his absence, I feel like we need to get them all on and do it ourselves.
Of
What's
course.
the fuck? Right, I knew. See, as soon as he starts joking, I'm shagging her.
That's
There's something going on.
That's called being in plain sight.
Yeah.
People do that, don't
Yeah.
they?
And how funny must that have been for him, right? To have everyone slagging and being like, you're shagging her.
And he
And he's like,
actually is.
yeah,
Actually, am.
perfect
Also-
time.
that poor baby, that's absolutely fucked.
Poor girl, her mum. Her mum.
That is, I'm shocked at that.
What the fuck?
What sort of mum could ever do that?
I know that's
Also-
actually really alarming.
The humour is strange, you're right. Oh, you shagged them up. What you like?
It would be funny on its own, right, as a one-off joke, but as an ongoing thing when you
Yeah.
also catch them all the time and you've saw them
Yeah.
kiss before. Like, how did nobody put that together?
Kissing on the lips, please no.
No.
By the way, kissing on the lips is mental. Did you see that video of Gary V with his dad? Have you seen that? Oh man, I don't know. Do you kiss your parents on the lips
No.
still? Right. Okay, just double checking just before I
It's been
get
a
in
hot
there.
minute since we've done that.
Yeah, exactly. When's the last time we did that, mum and dad? But yeah, Gary V. I don't know if it's like a kind
I'd
of
be so creeped
cultural
out.
thing. Like I think is he Italian? Do you know what I'm
Right.
talking
Yeah.
about? Gary V. As
Yeah,
in,
yeah, yeah, I
He
know
looks
who you mean.
Italian, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He sat down with his dad and did like a video for his podcast. And as his dad sat down, and bear in mind he's like a wee old man, he's like a wee hobbit, he's got like great like white hair and he's really small. He sat down and they actually full on lipsed on the camera.
Oh.
Right, and then went, right, Dad. So and then there's a guy that reacted to it and it was basically doing like he stitched it and he took a drink of his wine and he went, "That's your dad. That's your dad."
But is he's smart enough to maybe have been doing that as like a wee
No,
thing, no?
I don't think
Do you know what
so.
I thought you were going to say? Remember Sam Fairs did
Yes.
and it was her
Paul
boyfriend
and the mum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the mum like
Gaynor.
literally Gaynor,
Mad gator, mad belter.
I thought it was
Kissing
a
her
joke.
son.
She held his face. She actually held his face and it went on for so long.
It was
like an
border-
awkward amount of time.
It was borderline romantic.
It was.
No, I'm just a hug with the mum and dad.
I don't know
feel
when
that's
this
normal.
stops. I kiss the kids, but like it's they're like young.
Yeah, they're wee
They're
kids.
babies.
Yeah.
So when
I
does
think
that
maybe you're
stop?
like a teenager.
Yeah, maybe
Let's
that's what it is.
put the brakes on.
Yep, maybe after P7, that's when we're
Yeah.
done. P7, then we're done.
Yeah.
I'll let them know today. I'll just set my boundary.
Yeah.
Just so that they know.
Right, this one's a voice note and it's a long one, but I feel like it's going to be a good one.
Right.
So let's go for it. She's also wrote, I have no intention of remaining anonymous, by the way. Even full name me if you want. People
wow.
need to know about this.
Oh, she's
Oh
called-
my God, people are so brave.
Right, here we go.
Hi girls, so I was with my ex for 8 years. I met him when I was 17 and on our first date he's like, I've got something to tell you, like I just want to get it off my chest before we go any further. I'm like, okay, like go for it. He says, I'm actually adopted, like just to let you know, just when you meet my parents, like I'm nothing like them, I don't look like them, just when you meet them, that's why. I'm like, all right, okay. He's like, they're absolute weirdos, by the way, like especially my mum, like I'm nothing like them. But yeah, they're just really, really strange people. But it's just obviously I've been adopted into the family. I'm not biologically theirs. It's just like, remember, I'm not like them. And I'm like, oh, like, okay, like, cool. Like, they're nice enough, like, nice, pleasant people. But as the night's going on, like, we're sitting having dinner and his mum like goes into one about when she was pregnant with my ex, about like being pregnant with him, giving birth to him, like breastfeeding him and all that. And I'm sitting there like, what
does that
the
come up?
actual fuck? Like, I knew they were weird, but I didn't know how weird. The dad's just sitting there not saying
that's
anything,
not
like
true?
head down. And his mum is like proper talking about when she gave birth to my ex, who was adopted. So I'm like, right, okay.
Weird
I get it
lies.
now. So when we go home, I'm like, what was all that about? And he's like, he's pure upset, pure crying. Like, oh, I don't know why they do this to me. Like, they sat me down when I was 17, told me I was adopted. And then I've pretended to the rest of the world that I'm not allowed to talk about it. It's a very taboo subject in my family. So I'm like, oh, fuck. Like,
So he's saying mum's kidding on.
He says, he's like, don't ever say anything. Like, my mum had a breakdown as a result of a miscarriage. And she seems to think that I was the baby that she was pregnant with. So I'm like, what the fuck have I actually got myself into? Like, Jesus. But I'm like, okay, yep, I love you. I will not say a thing. Years and years go on. As I said, I was with this guy for 8 years, and this was a regular occurrence. We meet up with his mum and dad. She talks about being pregnant or him having her genetics and all that. It was really, really strange. Like, she would talk about...
Which no one else would do that.
Oh, yeah. Like, he takes his height from my side of the family, and he takes his skin from his dad's side of the family, like his adoptive dad. And I'm like, this woman is genuinely off her rocker. And then again, so the pattern went on and on and on for years, and would come home, he'd get upset, like, had all these fucking anger issues and stuff, like, because of all this, and I didn't quite know how to deal with it, so I'm like, this is really strange, but again, I'm not allowed to say anything. One day, he comes to me and my family, and he says, I've got something to tell you. My mum grabbed me aside last night and told me that I've got a twin sister. We're separated at birth, and she lives in Cork in Ireland. And I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. And I've got a sister-in-law out there and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, I just shut down, didn't ask any questions. I don't know anything about it. And I'm like, okay. He's like, again, none of your business. Do not say anything. I'm like, okay. So again, I don't mention it, but I could see that it was on his mind and it was coming between us and whatever. I started to kind of avoid his mum and dad because I'm like, I'm not really enjoying being around them because I can't really put up with this bullshit. Like, I can't deal with this lying. Like, when
talking about
everybody
breastfeeding
there
you.
knows that it's not true. So anyway, we get on to have a wee girl. She's now nearly 3. And obviously when you're pregnant, it kind of brings up these conversations about, oh, I wonder who she'll look like, and I wonder
eye
if she'll look
colours and
like
all that.
that, or bigger eyes, and blah, blah, blah. So his mum totally upped the ante, talking about, I wonder if the baby will have my skin, I wonder if she'll take her height from my side, like, and all that rubbish, right?
Is she gaslighting
And I'm
everyone?
like,
Hate
nah,
to tell you, but
obviously when you're
science,
pregnant, you're very hormonal. So I'm emotional as it is, and she's sitting there talking about my unborn child looking like her, and I'm like, your own son isn't even yours, like, with all due respect, like, what? Like, if she's going to let anybody, it would be me or her dad or my family, because that would be normal. So I'm like, get off my nut. Like, obviously didn't say anything because I thought if I was to say anything, or I was led to believe if I said anything,
She would get
that his
upset.
mum would like relapse and have another breakdown and stuff. So I just stayed quiet. So it got to a point, and I was like that to my ex, you need to go and deal with your mother. Like, you're all the man you're ever going to be. You're 27. You're a dad. And this is coming between me and you. So not only is it making you upset, it's making me upset. And she's lying to our baby. Like, she's like standing with my baby saying, oh, you get the same eyes as your granny. When
what does that teach
Yeah.
she actually can't have, because
What age is she
that's
also?
not how that works. Like, no.
Right, so that's part 1. There's part 2 to this story. Part 1, what's your thoughts?
Part 1, I think that initially I was thinking that the dad or the guy was making up some weird
did I.
story, like
That he wasn't adopted.
It's a weird thing to say in a first date. Why would you bring that up in a first date? Just so you know, my mum and dad are really, really weird. They're so weird and I'm nothing like them.
But then
It's a weird thing to bring up.
yeah, it's a very weird thing to bring up.
I think it would be maybe normal to say I'm adopted if it came up, but to slag your mum and dad, like, I would slag them later.
Yeah, it's a bit intense for the
slag them
first.
later.
Yeah,
don't. We're not saying don't slag them. Just not day
just
one.
not right now, because
Yeah.
surely that would that maybe scare some people off as
Yeah,
well.
it's a weird thing to say. Like,
Yeah.
and also see if they're that weird. Why are you taking me to meet them?
Yeah.
Right, let's do part 2.
Right,
See what
okay.
happens.
He wasn't really dealing well with the breakup. Wasn't dealing well at all. His actions and words were becoming, let's just say, questionable.
Break up. They're gone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it was
broke up
actually
because
He wouldn't confront the
weirdo.
mum.
Right, sorry.
So my own mum ended up phoning his mum and being like, right, this needs addressed. Nobody's going to her. Obviously, I felt like I couldn't speak to her after 8 years. There was like no relationship between me and her whatsoever. He was refusing to say anything. So my mum's like, I'll do it. Like, I can't see
Good old
this
mum.
little family
Yeah.
breaking up for no good reason when the one person who's upsetting me all is just getting to continue doing it. She's like, I'll phone her, just kind of to be like kind of mum to mum, be like, this is what's going on.
And just a concern.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
go ahead. I'm past caring at this point. Go ahead. Like, the woman's nuts, but on you go. So she phones her and she says, I'm just looking to express my concerns over such and such. And his mum's like, oh my God, like, what are you talking about? The boy that I know, like, is totally fine. And that's, what do you mean? Like, no, everything's fine. And my mum's like, well, listen, I don't know why he's acting the way he's acting, but he's told Shannon and he's told us about he's very much adopted, about his twin sister that lives in Cork in Ireland. And his mum's like, sorry, what? And Mum goes, yeah, like, he's adopted and has a twin sister in Cork in Ireland. And his mum goes, I can guarantee you that I gave birth to that boy. It was in 1996 and me and his father were in that delivery room. What on earth are you talking about? Girls, this boy was never adopted.
Fucking hell.
Oh, God.
I have taken him to Cork twice in the last 2 years so that he could feel close to the twin sister he had never met and where he thought he had come from.
Not the
It
trip
was
to
all a
Cork.
lie. The twin sister never existed. It is on my little girl's medical records that her dad is adopted and we don't know one half of her family history or bloodline or anything.
Oh.
Why?
I bought him this book that was like, because he was like, well, no one understands me. I bought him this book on adoption.
That's fucking
And
terrifying.
he would sit in bed beside me, like, at night. I'd be sitting reading my fucking 50 Shades of Grey or whatever. He's lying in bed beside me, crying at this book, like, this is the first thing that's ever understood me, and it puts so much into perspective and all that. So while I'm sitting in bed, reading my wee love story, this cunt is in bed beside me, studying
It's a
how
love
to
story.
be adopted.
Studying how to be
Like,
adopted.
wouldn't he write it? Like, it is beyond wild. So I've now got a wee girl with this absolute sociopath.
What the fuck?
I've heard that he now has a new girlfriend.
Oh my God.
Hope
If you're
she's aware.
listening,
I feel really sorry for her. Don't really know what to do on that front. And his parents, now that it's all out in the open, blame me.
oh, for fuck's
Oh, of course you
sake.
do.
You gave them how to be adopted 101.
See the idea of him lying next to her crying into the book. This explains my life so well.
It gets me. That is actually But this is what scares me so much about, like, people, like, nobody knows anyone unless you are the person.
She's 8
Fully.
8 years into a relationship and she doesn't know.
The wee girl is 8 years old now.
No, she's 3 years old. The wee
she's
girl's
3.
3, but
Yeah.
they've been together for 8
They've been
years.
together for 8 years.
Yeah.
And that full 8 years, she's fully believed he's adopted.
Going to
What?
going there
What
to
a
feel
lie.
closer to his twin sister that doesn't exist.
Oh my,
Oh my
fucking
God.
God.
That's just so funny though.
It
But
is
what does he gain from that?
What does it gain from that? That's what I want
attention.
to know.
I think it's just attention.
Just like a pathological liar.
Yeah. There's always people like that just lie for
True.
fun.
No,
It's
that
just
is true.
entertainment. He's probably a wee bit boring and he's like, if I make this up, I've got a wee bit
But
of...
it's like the absolute balls of it, like taking her to his mum and dad's house and like just trusting she won't mention the adoption. It's like in plain sight again.
Yeah.
How do you now feel about the mum though? Because I would be feeling bad, going like, oh my God, that's pure misplaced
I
anger
know.
at you.
Yeah.
When the whole time you were just pure
To
excited
be
to have
fair,
a
though, why
granddaughter.
is the mum talking about breastfeeding?
I know,
don't
it's
need to
a bit-
hear that.
also
I know
another-
day one.
It's not a first date chat again. Stop talking about that.
But that is the pure cliche, embarrassing mums,
True,
like first
true.
date, like let me show you.
Yeah.
Oh, look at him in his
True.
little diaper. Look at him with nothing on.
I do feel bad for the mum, but I also don't, because now she's blaming the girl.
Yeah.
Why is she
What-
blaming her?
It's not her that came up with it.
Well, see if the guy's that weird. His mum and dad probably are a bit weird.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So
true.
Something's
Yep.
probably not right somewhere.
Scientific.
Oh my God, that's actually really scary though.
Can we also just put out a call for anyone who is seeing a guy who has the exact
Yes.
same story?
Oh, here that will. By the way, I think
Let's debunk that.
debunk it. But then who else is going to know that story?
Your boyfriend
He's not
is
going to go
not
and tell.
adopted.
He's not going to go and tell that same lie to the next person.
Oh no, he'll come up with a new.
There'll be a
It'll be
new
the
lie.
new season. He'll
New
have like a
season.
totally different life next
Yeah,
time.
God.
I've got a twin sister in Cork.
Uh huh.
That
we
is
always
hilarious.
love compulsive liar stories because we've had them before. Like people who, for example, have was there a girl who was seeing a guy and the guy had like a girl on his arm and like was it her date of birth or something like that?
Yeah.
Whatever it was, and he told her it was her sister that died. But it was his girlfriend, and he had a girlfriend the whole time.
Or I know a story about a guy who was cheating on his fiancée. He was working away and he'd went on to Tinder, but stupidly put his actual profile picture, and he's kind of well known, but it's almost in that way where it could have been a bit catfishy. Like it could just have been taking somebody's picture, right? He then meets up with a girl and like goes to the hotel with her and whatever, and he had his car key. It would have been his car keys with his house keys on it. And you know, like you go to like, I don't know, like America or whatever, you go to Disney and you'll get one of the wee key rings. Yeah. It'll be like you on the ride. Yeah. And it was him going down a slide with these two kids. And the girl was like, oh, who's that? Is that you got kids, right? Which would have been fine because he's like in his 30s.
You could be single and have kids.
He could have just said like, like that's my kids, I'm single. He's like, no, that's my niece and my nephew. They don't keep well and I look after them quite a lot. No. And the thing is, we know this because it's so shameless. We know this because it ended up coming out that his picture went onto Twitter because he'd done like, it was like a new, I feel like this is getting too much now because I'm going to tell too much. But yeah, he basically, his new job that he went into, they shared like, you know, new employee. Yeah. And this person was like, hang on, I pumped him at the weekend, went and checked him, didn't realise who he was. They went and checked him and obviously realised who he was, that he had a fiancée, had kids. And then she then got in touch with the fiancée and was like, by the way, your husband-to-be was with me at the weekend, can I phone you? And she told her everything. She's like, he told me that was his, she's like, I feel sick about it. She's like, I would never knowingly do that. Like, he played me. I know. But guys are just liars. Yeah. There's so many liars out there that just tell so many mental stories.
Yeah. Embarrassing.
I hope I don't meet any of these guys.
You won't, but see if you do, can you tell us the stories? Yeah. Because great content.
There needs to be, I feel like there needs to be.
Manifesting you do.
You just never know. This girl couldn't really have done anything different. Hang on, let's just play this one quickly because it's away from a resident, Kira Cantwell.
Oh, is it Kira Cantwell? She wanted to be known.
Right, you, Miss Ailey Wells. Do you know how many people have contacted me saying, oh, see on that Girls Overheard podcast, they're using your name to pranky the hotel out the Beckham story. Cheers for that, mate. Listen, I'm going to make plenty of pranky calls this week, and it's going to be Miss Ailey Wells.
Does it count as a pranky?
It's not a pranky. It was very professional, actually. I'm calling from the Glasgow studio. What does that even mean?
We said broadcasting agency at one point as well. Like, why not?
Just make it up.
We never got a story out of them anyway.
Hi girls, new to the pod and love it. I have an embarrassing story. So, I was going to a new beauty appointment, and because I didn't want to be late, I went extra early. Sounds like you, babe.
Sounds like me.
Sounds like you.
Is this you?
And ended up with loads of extra time. I decided to get my car washed to use some of the time up. I love that. Mm-hmm. Productive.
Yeah.
But as I drove in, I realised the car wash didn't accept card. Are they in today's day and age?
My doesn't accept card either.
That is a pet hate.
Contactless everywhere. Yeah. If I don't have contactless, I can't exist.
Or when they go, we can take card, but you need to spend minimum of £5, and you're like, fuck off.
I know. Why don't how much to spend? The lovely guy at the car wash said, it's okay, leave your keys with us to start and then just go walk down to the ATM round the corner. Trusting.
Nice guy.
She's very trusting though. So I left my keys and I walked round. There was a really large queue, and by the time I got back, that guy had handed me my keys and said, that's you. I got in the car and rolled the window down to pay him. Just as he jet sprayed the entire side of the car, including the open window, right in front of my face. There's your... Why do I imagine the hands in and puts the window?
That would actually be painful.
It would be. That's dangerous.
Do you still have your face left? They were handing it gets worse. They were handing me blue roll and mopping my steering wheel. Just let's say I've never wanted to get somewhere so quickly. I've never been so embarrassed. I said, you said that's you, as in you're done. And he said, no, as in there's your keys. Hope this gives you as much of a laugh as it did me. The best part was arriving at my new facial girl drenched from the shoulders up. You basically got your facial.
Aggressive facial.
I hope, did it say it was the foam? See if it was the foam, that's even,
That's so
it's
funny.
even funnier if she get the foam right over and she's like trying to scrape her eyes out.
That is brutal.
Oh
I
my
would be
God.
replaying that in my head like in
Yeah.
slow motion for a long, long time.
Have you got an embarrassing moment like that you go, that's the one that I just never lived down?
Do you know what? I actually like think I have something wrong with me where I don't get embarrassed.
That's a good thing.
that's good.
Like
really
I really
good.
don't get embarrassed.
Like as in you can just constantly laugh at yourself.
Yeah, like I can't think of the last time I was really embarrassed. I'd be embarrassed like if I like shat myself or something, but I don't do that.
Well, we
A few of them in here.
You don't. Nearly 90% of our audience do. It's usually
That would
most of it.
embarrass me, but like I wouldn't be like I don't really get embarrassed. It's not an emotion I feel.
Yeah, that's a good way to be.
Yeah.
It is a good way to be.
Oh, we've got-
I try and tell the kids that. I'm like, see, anything you find embarrassing, if you laugh at it first,
Then it's not
it's
embarrassing.
not
Yeah.
embarrassing. You need to
Yeah.
you need to get that in them right away, because I feel
Yeah.
like it took me pure years to even get like
Yeah.
half of that.
An ick here. A new ick was unlocked for me recently. I was in a plane going to Tenerife when we had to stop in Porto Santo for 3 guys to be chucked off the plane. Police came on and arrested them and they were taken off. They'd been arsey the whole flight, were in a group of about 8 and only 3 were put off. Staff refused them alcohol and they started drinking from duty free. They weren't young either, which made it even more embarrassing, shouting, "We're from the Gorbles."
And
Gorbles on tour.
Yeah, and what? What's your point?
Nobody asked.
Nobody asked.
We had to wait on all the cases to be taken off the plane to find their bags, and one of their friends that was left was shouting, saying his clothes were in the case as the guy was escorted off. I said to my husband, if you phoned me and said that you're stuck in another country after being put off a plane, I would not come to rescue you. That is so
Same.
embarrassing. And then she's put the photo on.
Oh, it's so embarrassing.
Why do people do that? I've
And
actually...
then everyone in the plane always cheers.
Yeah.
You notice
Yeah.
that? And then I think that's even better.
And now your holiday's ruined. And do you know what?
It's
Actually,
stupid.
I know a girl, right, who... I think it was her friend or something was on a plane coming back, and it was he wasn't causing bother or anything like that, right? But I think he had like some kind of panic attack or something on the plane. They redirected the plane to get him off, right? And then they billed him for 20 grand. Because they were like, if we need to redirect the plane, it's your cost.
What do you mean?
So he had to fight that because he was like, I never told you to redirect the plane.
You're fucking at
He
it.
never
And when
paid it.
did he suggest he finds 20 grand?
I know. Well, he never ended up having to pay it. But he was just like, I never told you to do that. It was your choice.
What the hell? Once I was on
my
a plane
God.
to Ibiza years ago and a boy broke his arm on the plane.
How?
Doing what?
He
He was
was-
doing karaoke, jumping off the chair. Which, by the way, that story for me, that is basically you're doing a display in your living room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
Christmas
mum was
Day.
there, you were like,
Yeah.
watch this, mum, right? And then the big hit, I jump off. It's the
They had like the Hindu was in like a wee bowling club, so like they had my foot in a big bucket of ice. Like the staff were like, "That's not looking good, Hen." But yeah, when I was on this plane, like this boy was like really drunk, like out his face, and he broke his arm on the plane, and they were like, "We might have to stop somewhere
Yeah.
so that we can see to him." And everyone was like, "No, don't stop, don't stop." But luckily there was a paramedic on the flight.
Yeah.
And he just kind of seen to it and he dealt with it when he was
As
there.
in he was like a passenger.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that. That's
Yeah, they were like,
amazing,
if
isn't it?
there's any
Anyone know a
doctors?
doctor? He's
And
like,
then they just stand
I'm
up.
a paramedic. I can see to it.
Yeah.
And then he fashions them like a splint out of the stuff they find in like the toilet.
See if they were ever to say to somebody, we can drop you off and you can go to the hospital, but it's going to cost you 20 grand.
About that,
You'd be
I'll just wait,
nah.
babe.
There's literally probably nothing that you would go, okay, take me to
No, absolutely
Also,
not.
also, like, this is Ryanair. I didn't even pay for a decent flight to
Exactly.
get somewhere. Why would I
Yeah.
pay you 20 grand to redirect me?
I know.
No thanks.
The cheek.
Never in a million years. See, your flights to Ibiza have to be mental. If you had anyone that you've been like, oh, that's a wee bit scary.
Not really. That was probably the most mental one because he was with a group of mental people and obviously his arm was literally broke. But normally, I see, because I always get the pure early flight.
Yeah, that's
they're
what it
kind of
is.
tame.
See,
Yeah.
like, see if it's a Thursday or a Friday and people are going for like a stag
Yeah.
weekend, you'd be fucked.
Yeah, but like if it's like a Monday 6 a.m. shot, people
Yeah.
are just sleeping.
Fine. With the boys, they're going to stag do, aren't they?
Can you even call it a stag do? It's just a holiday at this point,
Basically a
isn't
holiday.
it? They
I
just
would
go
be
and-
scared to go on a stag do because like they actually torment the stag.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'd be pretty terrified.
We were saying this, like, how is that fun? And then apparently
No.
there's places up north where the guy and the girl, like the bride and the groom to be, both get taken away in the dead of night. You get kidnapped,
Pulled out your bed.
pulled out your bed, put in the back of a pickup. You get basically gagged and blindfolded.
Uh-huh.
Or you get gagged. I've just put that in.
I feel like we could say that.
Yeah, they get gagged and blindfolded.
They get covered in tar, don't they?
Covered in tar.
fuck?
And then they drive them through, like, see, like a pickup. They'll drive them through the village and people basically, like, egg them for flour at
What?
them.
Because they're getting married.
Aye.
Voluntarily, like for fun. This
We
is
were
a thing.
saying that that's definitely been, like, an idea that was headed by a jealous bridesmaid.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It should have
Oh my
been me
God.
at the moment.
We have very different ideas of fun.
Absolutely. But Stag does, for example, they've got this one coming up soon, and
Yeah.
like that, they're obviously going to Ibiza, and is it Thursday morning they're leaving, or is it Thursday afternoon? Something like that. The flights have changed so many times.
Andy does this thing where he's like, it's just a weekend. So we're leaving on Thursday night. In fact, it's Thursday morning. In fact, it kind of is Wednesday night because
We're
we
going
need
to go and get dinner.
So the weekend, yeah?
Yeah, but we're going to leave at like 11 in the morning on Wednesday, and you're like, you're going for a week. Just say you're going for a week.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
Your growth arms and legs.
I think it's Thursday to Monday or something like that, isn't it?
Just a weekend shot.
Uh-huh.
Just a Saturday, Sunday.
Like, there's
Yeah.
not any days left in the week. It doesn't
No.
make sense. Right, well, we do a dilemma because we've not done
Oh yeah, do a dilemma.
one of these in a wee while.
Go on then.
Right. Hi, girls.
Go on
Love
then.
the pod. I'm a listener from London and
London.
would love to see a live event down here sometime.
Right, okay. Right,
We've
okay.
spoke about that
London.
before.
I know we
London.
did say we would do maybe like some
wee
kind of
London
like
number.
London or like down south England one. We've got 3 coming up so far.
I know. Shows coming.
Let us
here.
know where you are, by the way. If you're in London, we could do something. Just let us know. Right, so my friend has been single for around 10 years with lots of flings that only last a week or so. Her last boyfriend broke her heart and he cheated on her after 2 years together. It seems she's going for men who are recently out of a breakup, or at least that's what she's telling me, is there's been a few occasions where the guy's ex has contacted her asking what the hell she's doing chatting to her boyfriend.
Oh shit.
Oh.
So she's the other woman, basically.
She
in a
thinks,
lot of-
Yeah.
she thinks she's
Yeah.
for the rebounders, but she's actually not.
Yeah.
She is the other woman.
This has happened at least twice now that I know about. Recently, she started talking to a guy who messed with her head a few years ago. He was another one of those guys who said he's single, but he wasn't. He wishes he had picked her 4 years ago instead of his ex-fiance.
Oh shit.
Oh, it's a bit of a... Right, hang on. 4 years. Now you decide.
Yeah.
Too late.
He said he doesn't want a relationship with her, but she's still sleeping with him, hoping that he'll change his mind.
Oh.
She's got low self-esteem, which it hasn't, and now she's a heartbroken mess. I told her before she jumped into bed with him that I didn't think he's good for her, but she never listens. It's like she's constantly hoping to change someone, and
Yeah.
she's obsessed with this guy. I'm not quite sure what to advise her, and I just feel drained every time I speak to her. Is all we do is we talk about that situation
and it's just
with
And
her
that can
crying
be draining.
So
and
much.
screaming that I don't understand and nobody wants to be with her. What do you girls suggest I do? I often feel that we're completely different people now and often think about ending our friendship as I feel we're on a totally different path.
I don't know. What do you do with that?
I feel like people think they have a type sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But I think all the things that you think are your type are probably just bad traits in
Yeah.
somebody, and that's
Yeah.
why these people are treating you like that.
And that's why it's not working, because you keep going for your time.
It's so bad. See, the thing is, though, that whole obsession thing of like getting with someone and being like, but I'll be the one who changes.
Yeah.
Is such a toxic thing
It
that
is.
women do. We think that we can fix people or change
And you
them, right?
can.
And that, it actually doesn't become about them at all.
No.
It becomes about how much you value yourself. It's
Yeah.
almost like if I'm able to do that, that means I'm like 10 out of 10 that
Yeah,
I've managed
yeah,
to win
yeah.
them round.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's no longer a competition of like, it's in her, that's her own competition. Do you know what I mean?
Especially at our age, I feel like if you need fixed at like 30 years old, you're a lost cause.
Yep, because your frontal cortex should have developed
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. What's that like? 20?
25.
25, yeah.
Mine's just developed.
Oh my God, congratulations. How do you
She's
feel?
seen
Brand
this
new frontal. I still don't know what it's called. Frontal
Frontal
cortex
lobe. Oh.
lobe. There's a cortex in there.
There's
Is there
definitely,
not?
I thought there was a cortex.
We've never got it right. We always do frontal cortex lobe. Something.
Potato.
I
don't know, but your
She's
brain's
here.
developed.
She's
Yeah,
here. I'm
he's got-
26. It's fully here.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
And it's brand new and fresh. Yours is
Yeah.
a wee bit, a couple of years old. It's a used car. But, yours is brand new, just out the wrapper. How good is that? I think it's hard when you've got a pal that's just constantly like
I
that.
know.
It's draining her, but I think you just need to try and just constantly change the conversation.
Yeah.
Because it's that thing, what was it? Was it Joe Rogan? I was listening to it and he was basically talking about, there was like a psychologist on and she was speaking about people's mental health nowadays, right? And how we deal with things so differently. And now obviously before it'd be like, right, you just get on with it and you don't talk to people, right?
Yeah.
as much as okay, that like locks trauma in your head for later years.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the time, like sometimes it's actually better because you get over
100%,
it.
yep.
Whereas because we're all very much like, you got to talk about your feelings, talk to people, go and see therapy, go and do that. Sometimes therapists are actually capitalising on the fact that you constantly speaking about your problems is making your problems worse.
Yeah, bringing
because you're
everything
constantly
Kinda
thinking about
wallowing
it.
in it.
Yeah, that's
majorly.
exactly what it is.
And the thing is, they're constantly, it's actually in their interest. Sorry, therapist.
Yeah, to keep you coming
Yeah.
back.
Coming back, so they know that it's actually, if you're
They're
constantly
breaking it
speaking, if you're constantly speaking out things, it depends on what it is. But
Yeah,
something
of
like this,
course.
like it's like you're dealing with now, maybe past traumas, maybe a different thing, but something you're dealing with
Yeah.
now. If you're constantly going over it and over it, you're not getting a chance to think about anything else.
Yeah.
I'm really like that. Like, see, whenever something happens in my life, I set myself like a time scale of how long I'm allowed to be sad. I'm like a robot. But I say to myself, right, I'm going to give myself 5 days of feeling like this, and then I'm not going to think about it again.
So
and
like
that's what I
breakups,
do.
for example, do you
yeah,
do that?
Yeah. I'm like, I'll have 5 days of being sad, and then like it's just time to move on.
God, you're
That's a
so
really good way to do
strong-minded.
that.
That's your frontal lobe.
I know.
Oh my God, it's
Look at it
doing
and it's
so
full
well.
glory.
You know, my friends are like, "You're so weird. Why are you not crying anymore?" I'm like, "No tears."
I've had
left
it 5
cry."
days.
Yeah, because your option works better because you
I've
could
got it
cry for
out.
weeks.
I've got it out, and then now I'm just like, I'm so
Yeah.
strange. I do that, but
No, that's great advice, by the way, to give to anyone. Have your 5 days. Give
Yeah.
yourself a time and be like, do it all here.
I'm not doing it enough.
Get it
to
out your
them.
system.
It's all what you tell yourself, because there was actually a guy I seen on TikTok and he was saying that, see, what you say to yourself actually affects your brain and it affects what is.
100%.
So he was saying that now people write things like, if they're laughing, they'll be like, oh my God, I'm dying. He's like, don't do that.
Oh.
It's not good for your brain
know.
to be saying
shit,
like,
I know, I'm
I'm
always
dying.
dying. I'm always dying.
Or say like just us always using like really over the top words and
Yeah.
over the top line. He's like, that's actually not good for your brain.
can't I stop
So if
saying
you're
that?
saying to your brain, I'm so sad, I'm so sad, I'm so sad,
Yeah.
that's how you're going to feel.
But I even do that, like, say yesterday I went to a Pilates class and my legs were so sore from the gym the day before, and I was really struggling to a point I thought I might just leave. But then I said to myself, my legs aren't sore, and I done the rest of it.
That's so good. That's a better option than me, because usually I give it the whole, you have to continue because your family will all perish and burn. Right, and then when I finish, I'm going, save them all.
Yours is like a weird chainmail kind of thing,
Yeah,
isn't it? Like,
yeah.
if you don't do this,
Yeah, you are your own chainmail.
Uh-huh.
Actually,
If you
I'm
don't- the
that's
other-
the 5 people.
or a wee girl will appear by your bed. I remember that one on Facebook.
Oh my
It used to
God.
terrify me.
Yep.
Another urban legend.
So
Right.
all we need to do is say you've got your time to get over it. So what's our advice to her?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, the whole point. I think you probably have outgrown her. Could be that. Maybe she's a wee bit addicted to the drama, because people do get that as well.
Yeah.
Your buzz off being the
Yeah,
other woman.
and actually maybe if she was to get a nice normal guy that was treating her nice, she'd be bored and say he's boring.
I know.
See, in general though, I think it's okay for friendships to end.
Yeah,
It
I know.
is.
It's fine. It's actually fine. Like, it's so fine to go through primary school with people and then get to, like, I don't know, like, I remember being at uni, right, and sitting around the classroom, and the teacher or the lecturer or whatever was like, you've got pals from school, right, but you've got pals around you here that you've not met yet, that you'll be closer to in your adult life than you will your school friends, because everyone outgrows each other, and that's fine for that to happen.
And
It
also,
is totally fine.
at our age as well, like we might have friends that we've not met yet that will be longer friendships than any of our past
Look
friendships.
at my mum and Elaine, for example.
Yeah.
My mum and her best pal, right, are actually the cutest wee duo ever.
my God,
aren't
they're
they?
so cute.
But they've only known each other for the last, properly known each other. They've known of each other, but they've only been, like, tight for the last, like, maybe 5 years, something like that, 6 years. But they do everything together. And they're pure good pals, and they're proper ride or die in a friendship. And like that, they didn't know each other 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So, and it's fine to, like, fall out of friendships. You don't need to, like, actually fall out and then just be, like, bitter about it. It's like, you're okay to just go, do you know
Yeah,
what?
it's just
It's
like,
fine.
there's a quote and it's like, friends for a reason, friends for a season, and I can't remember the end of the quote.
Yeah, you
But
need
it's
to,
like,
isn't it? You're either friends for a reason or friends for a season.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? And so it's like some people are there for a short time.
and like,
just-
it was nice
yeah.
and you had your time, but it's time to move on.
Especially, I feel
Totally
like
fine.
primary school specifically, when people are friends from primary school, you think, what is the chances that your best pal
I
for life is going to be in
know.
your P1 class? Do you know what I mean?
Like, friend and fra.
Yeah, okay,
Both
for
our-
guys.
both our husbands are
different
best
for-
pals.
Yeah,
No
okay, that was a bad example.
Yeah. That's how we know each other.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
We're the girl friends.
Oh,
But they're the exception. They're the exception. That
Yeah.
is, it's
yeah, that's
unusual.
very unlikely.
You don't need
I
to feel
think
tied to
especially
someone.
with guys, it's more common for that to happen, but girls, it just isn't.
Yeah, girls change a lot. Like, I know my boyfriends have, like, not my boyfriend, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pals.
Yeah.
Like they stay the same like all the time, but like I feel like I've been 10,000 different people.
Yeah,
Like,
same.
I've went through so many different things, and like girls do just I think change more than boys do.
That
I
is
think
so
it's
true,
so
by the way,
true.
because guys, like even Andy and Fra, right? But then a lot of their friendship group have all been the same since school.
Yeah.
So, but girls, it doesn't happen like
Yeah.
that.
They all actually have their characters,
Yeah.
haven't they?
They're all different, but they're still pals.
They've all got their own but they've always been like that, like since like forever. Your pals that you're friends with now, were you friends in primary school?
No, none of them went to primary school.
I'm the same.
But I was friends with them all from the start of high school.
Right, so they're high school pals.
My like core group of friends. I'm very lucky. I have like lots of different friends, but my core like group of girl friends, we all became friends in like second year, third year.
That's funny,
really
isn't
cute.
it? When like basically, I think that's like that is like the most kind of. Like that's the biggest change that happens, isn't it? Like you're going to be like kind of most of the personality you are then,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Apart from the psycho thing when you've got like the pill and all that to contend with.
Oh my
Oh yeah,
God.
we all go through the pill years and then end
Yeah.
up fucking hating each
Raging,
other.
we're raging for ages. Just want to fight
Oh.
everyone and dig them.
Just remember as well, listening to this week's pod in relation to Bebo and social sites back in the day. Would you have
No,
Bebo?
I
Have
think
it set? Yeah.
thank God. I was
God.
like, oh no.
I had people.
Don't be like, what's Bebo? It would kill us. Right, and just had a flashback to being rated on Hot or Not, or all the
Do
kids.
you remember that?
I don't remember this.
No, it was what was the thing called
There was
again?
a thing called Ask FM.
Ask
was a
FM,
thing.
that was the
Yeah.
thing.
But
I
this,
hated that. That was awful.
Yeah.
she said people were rating everyone in the school year with if they were hot or not. I'm sure it was the boys who did the whole school year of all the girls, and it caused so much crazy behaviour because they're all on the pill as well, so they're fucking raging.
Uh-huh.
Can you imagine that happening now? You would have a massive photo of you which seemed to fill the entire PC screen of your face,
be.
and it would have fire like for hot, and you're rating based on votes. Oh, and I'll voice note you the secret language. The fuck are you talking about?
What is she talking about?
Secret language.
Okay, I feel like I have to explain this one.
Yeah.
Do you remember Wovagot? So me and my best friend
Wovagot,
still
yeah.
speak Wovagot to each other
Yeah.
in front of my husband. We've all been friends since high school, so he hates it when we do it, but he can fully understand. But do you remember it? And it used to be like, you know, if you had something like secret to say in front of people or in front of like your mum or dad or like something, and you'd be like, Ovago, Mabagai, Gogod, Abagai, Kavagan, Bivaga, Livagi, Thavagat, Shivagi, Sevagad, Thavagat, Ovago, Mabagai, Gogod,
What are you saying?
Kavagan, Yuvagu, Bivaga, Livagi, Thavagat,
You understand?
which basically is, oh
Can't
my
believe
God,
that she just said
I
that.
can't believe she said that. Oh my God, can you believe that? Like,
Put that in your bio.
I can't believe that I can still speak that.
I can understand it,
That's
but I don't know how to do it. It's like basically you put. We used
Is
to have
it egg language? Is that the same thing?
Egg
No,
language,
what
yeah.
did they used to
They
call
used
it?
to call that egg language in my
It was
school.
like something. It was like gibberish or something like that. They used to call it. It was something
Would
like
they
that.
take a word and the letter?
See, avagov. It used to be avagov, avagai. That is, it used to be
No, I
called
don't know.
avagov, right? And you used to take. It was like, I can't even do it. But it was basically you had to put avagov, and then it'd be like you say I, and then you would take the next word. See, like can. It was basically like you say the ka, ava, nt.
What
But
the
like,
God?
you would basically cut every word, and you'd put like avagov in between each of the words.
Yeah.
I can't explain it. I don't know how to do it, but I can hear
The
it.
way she just started rhyming that off, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yep.
That is a skill. Get that
It
in
is
your
a
CV.
skill.
Yeah, it's a skill.
I can hear it, but I'm basically I'm pigeon avagov to over here.
Yeah.
I can understand it, but I'm not very good at the dialect myself.
I absolutely love that. Right, well, let us know if any of you speak Wabagov.
By the way, I'm not being funny. I've got a feeling you're going to learn that. I feel like that'd be right up there for you. You should put it on TikTok. Like,
You're
listen,
watching my next one.
I feel like you would learn it really fast.
That is actually amazing. That's a pure skill.
Language, a pure skill.
Give people their dues. That is a skill.
Yeah.
There's
Got their own
loads,
language
there's
at
loads of
school.
secret languages that people used to have. I wonder, so that's one of them, and Avagov's another one.
Let me know if anyone knows egg language, because that was one at my school. I don't know it.
Egg
Egg
We
language.
didn't have any secret languages.
How?
To be honest, you actually did and you don't realise it.
True, because it's
MSN.
secret.
Yeah. All your letters. All
All
the
your letters and all that was basically like Morse code.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
suppose.
The way we used to message, my mum would be like that coming in and go, stop looking at my laptop. She's like, I don't know what you're saying anyway. I don't know what that is. Like, what are you even writing? It's pure a different language.
Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Thanks for joining us,
Thanks for
Megano.
having me. It's been so
I've
fun.
loved this. This has been so good. Don't let it be the last time though, because
No.
Lauren really wants to come and
I
have you
know,
in.
she's gutted as well.
She's literally put on like it's almost like a funeral picture on Instagram. It's black and white and it's like, I'm not there. Have fun.
I know.
No, I'll come back.
Please
Brilliant.
do. Please
And
do. And
you
good
can
luck
come
with
to
your
our
show.
show as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be there. I'll get my
If you haven't got any tickets, we'll leave the link below.
Yep.
And come and see us at the O2 Academy in October. Exciting. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.